Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. The race has not started. You haven't missed a thing. We are still in the middle of the national anthem. This lady's giving it her all. Although I'm not listening. Let me put my headset on. Seated for the Heim domination. That's right. It's crazy. I've explained it this way. Half of his wins, he wasn't the best truck. He was just the best guy to take advantage of the leader having bad luck. Right place, right time. And you have to put yourself in the right place. You know, you have to be there to be there. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and... We're under a commercial break right now, so I'm going to swap the battery on my headset. Out. Out. There you go, battery out. And take it out. Battery in. Do I have a recommendation for wheel and pedal set? Thrustmaster. Thrustmaster is like the way to go. Direct drive. If you're looking to spend a ton of money, direct drive. Get a direct drive wheel. But if you just want an adequate starter wheel that'll do pretty much everything you ask it to, the G29. I know Logitech just announced a new steering wheel, but the G29, that's what I have. Plenty of buttons. I think that one's gear. Done by gears, not belts. There's like belt driven, gear driven, and then direct drive. I think that's the 3 types of wheels. That one makes a good bit of noise. When you have force feedback on 100%, it's like making crazy sounds. I know a lot of drivers, competitive iRacing guys and guys that race competitively on NASCAR Heat, they lower their force feedback quite a bit. That way they have smooth lines. I'd jack it up because I like feeling the bumps. You know, I want to feel like I'm racing the car, you know? I have the, who's playing? Utah? Is this Utah versus Texas? 17 versus 16. It's a decent matchup. Let me see what's on ESPN. Memphis Memphis and Arkansas. Okay, that's what I'll watch. To answer your question, oh, I did. I did. Yes. You didn't see me pull out my wheel? That didn't tip you off. If you want to spend a lot of money, if you have money to spend, get a direct drive steering wheel. The next best you can do is gears. Then the third, the one you don't really want to do, is belt driven. As far as brands, Thrustmaster's kind of up there. Probably the highest rated wheel outside of like crazy enthusiast wheels. Also a load cell pedal. You actually, like, pedals are important. The wheel is important, but the pedals are arguably just as, if not maybe a little more important, because pedals I have don't feel too good. But anyway, if you want a decent wheel, and you can probably pick one up used for cheaper than obviously a new one, the Logitech G29. You can use it on PlayStation and PC. It'll do everything you ask of it, but it's not top of the line. That's the wheel I just pulled out. If money's not an object, look at Thrustmaster first. And like Thrustmaster has cheaper wheels too, so I mean you don't have to go top of the line. Yeah, the G29 you can probably find for relatively cheap if you look. If you want to buy it new, you know, that's fine. Logitech also just came out with a new wheel, so you have options. All right. This is annoying to me. They're just giving the commands to start the engines, right? It's 11:13, 13 minutes after the broadcast started. Last week for the Cup race, it was like 30 seconds after the broadcast started, they dropped the green flag. It wasn't that much, but it was like 2-3 minutes. Same for, I think, the Xfinity race. Like, very quick. So sometimes I schedule the stream to go live 15 minutes after the broadcast because I want to skip through all of this. But here we go. We're here early this time. That's so silly. So nowadays, when they give the command to start the engines, half the trucks or half the cars don't even start up. They immediately shut the truck off, if they even start it up at all, to save fuel. The strategy starts at the very beginning. I mean, even before the race, the strategy has started already. That is just wild to me. I ordered Culver's. So my wife went to go hang out with her family. They're in town. And I don't think we really have a ton of groceries. I could just eat peanut butter or Oreos. But yeah, I ordered some Culver's. There's a Culver's like 3 miles up the road. I really like Culver's. The King is Dead will tell you otherwise. But yeah, I like Culver's. And there's one maybe 3, possibly 4 miles. I mean, it's not far. If I wasn't going to be live, I would have just driven there. But I ordered because they had a buy one, get one on like half their items. And so it was like, I can save some money. And possibly have something for like a snack later. That'll probably be my food for the day. Well, my order is coming from a Culver's that is 50 minutes away. All the way across town. All the way across town. Not the one right near my place. Not the 3 that are closer. One all the way across town. What sense does that make? I feel so bad for this guy. He's wild for accepting that delivery. Still 23 minutes away, and he picked it up like 20 minutes ago. Interesting, double A. Interesting. Maybe it's the same Culver's that I ordered from somehow. If you order Culver's, they'll send it to you. I don't know if you guys have seen the long distance food delivery. I know some places in Chicago do it. You can order a New York slice from certain places. I have no clue how that works. How do they get the food to you and it still be decent? They just like vacuum seal it or freeze it? I don't know. Well, it would have to be a really good hot bag, because people like order food from these really fancy restaurants, or really well-known restaurants, not fancy per se, but really well-known restaurants from across the country, and they'll get it there to you overnight. So I don't think a hot bag works that well, but they have to do something to keep it fresh. All right, little interview with Daniel Hemrick here. Earlier today, there was like literally while we were streaming, there was a modified race. I don't know if it was on TV. If it was, it may have been on the NASCAR channel. I know they've shown some modified races lately. What is cheddar like? Like Cheddar's? Like the restaurant that Kyle Busch drives for? Overrated. When Cheddar's opened in my area, it was all the rage. Just hyped out of control, out of orbit. And it's just restaurant food. If you've been to Applebee's or Chili's, it's like that. Maybe it's a little better, but ooh, did they miss that? Field goal is good. All right, 7-3. Memphis just got points on the board. I didn't get this race going because I would like to get a little nap in. Yeah, I wouldn't mind Memphis winning. Tired. I'm waiting till my food gets here to start indulging in a Monster Energy. They're killing me here. All right, we're coming down pit road. We're setting the tack for the pit road speeds. Am I going to any games this year? I may go to the LSU Vanderbilt game, but tickets are really expensive because the stadium's small. I also might go to a game in Baton Rouge on November 22nd. Undecided yet. Then I might go see my cousin play. He plays college football. I just don't want to travel. And not much. The Egg Bowl. Man, that's the perfect time to go. That's the perfect time. Your wife's out of town. That basically gives you free reign. Ready to go. So you're a Memphis man? Not a Memphis man. You're a Mississippi man? Interesting. Interesting. A lot of people give Mississippi some flack, but I've driven through the state and from south to north. Now going through 72 on Highway 72, terrible. I hate it, and I hate that part of the state. But going from like Biloxi up to Memphis, you know, all the way. Pretty state, pretty during the fall. I don't know what highway I was on, or interstate. But also, the education in Mississippi used to not be good, like dead last. Well, they've done better. They've done better. They have passed a bunch of different plans or whatever, holding children back to the 3rd grade or something if they don't have a certain... Oh, we're already crashing. So we're green flag. We are already crashing. Already crashing. Anyway, they're holding kids back if they can't read well or something at a certain grade. And so the test scores in Mississippi are going up as a result. So good for Mississippi. If no one else has your back, I have your back. I hate your colleges, though. Stupid cowbell. Stupid hottie toddy. Southern Miss can stay. But Mississippi State and Ole Miss, I have no time for them. No time. My old squad leader was, he was a Mississippi State fan. Yeah, old piss. And Arkansas has the ball. Quarterback just took a hit there. All right, they're going to punt. Memphis getting the ball back. If Memphis wants to win this game, they need to score here. They need to make a statement. They're at home. There's huge sections of the stadium that are not full of people. This stadium is not full. So Arkansas fans didn't want to travel, and Memphis fans didn't care. This is not a good look for Memphis. I guess if the team isn't good, they just don't care. Yeah, I'm not a fan of Memphis. It's crazy. Be driving right through the middle of Memphis. Speed limit will be 50, and people will be going 80 easy. And that's the flow of traffic. There's people going way faster. Whenever I see someone get pulled over in Memphis, I'm just thinking to myself, how fast were you going? Because everyone else is going 30 above the speed limit. Yeah, just look at the Grizzlies. Yeah. Yep. Memphis better watch out, or they're going to lose the Grizzlies. They'll move the team somewhere. Move them to Nashville. Move them to Las Vegas. Better watch out. The lease is up in 29. They need to build a new pyramid. Just put it right next to the current one. All right, under commercial, once more. Corey Heim, as many people predicted, leading our race. Corey Heim's absolutely killing it. Man, I wish I had done low latency for this stream. I didn't do low latency. So now we're going to have like a 15-second delay, so not as quick as this morning's stream was. I had that one on low latency. '17 spun, the 15, the one was already going around. Several cars involved. Chandler Smith second, Ty Majeski third, Lane Riggs fourth, fifth Matt Crafton, sixth Corey LaJoy, seventh Jake Garcia. That's eighth Jake Garcia. I skipped over seventh Tyler Ankrum, ninth Rajah Caruth. My headset just made a weird sound. That was odd. All right, green flag. Corey Heim back to the lead. They're 3 wide in the back. Wire locked in, folks. Red. Yeah, that is kind of weird. That is kind of weird. It's the opposite from every other series. But they definitely did it because the Craftsman truck series for branding for branding reasons, but it is stupid. You think it'd be the opposite. Green locked in, red not. Who are Joy in the top 5 now? Grant Infinger having really not a great year. It's a wonder he's even in the playoffs. Caden Honeycutt 11th in the 52. Good to see him run well. Hope Stuart Friesen gets well soon. Recovers. Matt Crafton quietly running in 6th. Corey Heim pulling out to around a 4/10 advantage. The Modelo commercials in my head. Can't get it out. All right. This is your reminder, ladies and gents. If you have the NASCAR mobile app, check in. Check in on your leaderboard. Get those free points. Redeem it for free merchandise, free autograph merchandise. You can ride in the pace car. You can wave the green flag. These are all things you can do for free just by checking in on your NASCAR mobile app and redeem those points. All right, one car slow off track. Who is that? Let's get our leaderboard. All right. Connor Mozak, 8 laps behind. Steven Malazzi, 2 laps back. Tanner Gray, 5 laps back. Yikes. It's a little early to be sucking like that. Memphis's quarterback barely avoiding a sack. Lucky that ball got out of bounds. Whoa! Massive contact. 91 into the back of the 26. Whoa! They need to look at his right front and see if there's any damage on the 91. Because it looks like the right front might be a little caved in, just a bit, and that would affect the balance of that truck. It's hard to tell from this angle. If Fox cared at all, they would take a look at that. Yes, go Tigers. Go Tigers. Bum, 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 bum. All right, 62 is on the move. How far back are they? 21st. Not too impressive. Truck looks pretty good back there in traffic, though. Huge catch by Memphis. That was an interception. Interception, Memphis. They have the ball back. How about that? How about that? Go Tigers! All right, Corey Heim still out to a half-second lead over Ty Majeski. Rhodes trying to make a pass for 11th. Side by side with Caden Honeycutt. These trucks are so yawed out. They look silly. They look silly. If they drive well, that's all that matters. But good heavens, do they look messed up? They don't even slightly resemble the modern day trucks. The average Silverado and F-150 is like twice as large as one of these Craftsman trucks. Clemson is losing. Who are they playing? Oh, Syracuse. Yes. Go Orange. Not the Clemson orange, the Syracuse orange. Yeah, Syracuse, yes. I was watching College Game Day, so I knew. I just had to remember that I knew. All right, Caden Honeycutt back to 11th. Ben Rhodes not able to make the pass. Corey Heim has doubled the gap. 9-10's ahead now. That just... What did that guy just put in his mouth? I think I just saw that dude take a huge vape. All right, our top 4 are currently playoff drivers. Then we have 2 guys, Corey the Jordan, Matt Crafton, that are not playoff drivers in the top 10. And then everyone else, all the way back to 11th, playoff drivers. And 15th, Grant Enfinger, our last playoff driver, just running mid. Very mid. That's crazy. Full screen commercials in the year of our Savior 2025. What is that commercial? That Progressive commercial is wild. There's the Modelo commercial again. As soon as I get out of my head, there it is again. Just back to mock me. Man, great block there. Good first down for Memphis. Moving the ball. They need to put points on the board here. They're in the red zone. This game is on ABC, by the way. If you guys want to tune in to Memphis, Arkansas. All right, no gain on that run. Which dude? I'm not listening to the game, so I have no clue. Listening to the race right now. I have a television at the far end of my desk. So I have the game pulled up on the television. I also have another television back there for my PlayStation. Like, doing SmackDown currently? Are you serious? Like Corey Graves on here? Michael Cole? Who is it? Oh, the other guy. I know who you're talking about. Yeah, Joe Tessitore. Yeah, I heard him. That voice, pretty recognizable. Yeah, they're doing WrestlePalooza, so there's definitely plenty of opportunity for them to cross over now. During College Game Day, they picked between John Cena and Brock Lesnar. Kind of crazy that it's not even the title they're picking. They're picking the draws. John Cena and Brock Lesnar. No one cares about the title match. I'll watch it whenever I get back home. I think it starts at 7 and the concert should be ending a little after 7. So if those commercials, I should be able to fast forward through them and watch it. Though I'll probably just watch the LSU game when I get home. I don't know. I'll watch it eventually. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you'll just be able to go to the ESPN app and watch a replay. Hopefully commercial free. Peacock was a pain about that. If you went back and watched a PLE after the fact, every commercial break you had to sit through. Ridiculous. Even with Peacock Premium, that would still make me sit through the ads. These trucks are so yawed out. It is crazy. Corey Haim is a 1.5 seconds ahead. There's only 2 competitive trucks today. If Ty Majeski's not going to make changes, if he's not going to compete, Corey Haim is going to run away with this race. Even though there's 25 to go in the stage, that's a long time. There's only 2 competitive trucks out there right now. All right, Memphis, 3rd and goal. He's running. Touchdown, Memphis. Dude, what a great run by the quarterback. Lowered his shoulder, got in. He shouldn't have made it. He should not have made it. Not Memphis. Arkansas just sucks. That's crazy. This stadium isn't even full. They got this place rocking. Good for them. The Memphis Zoo is nice. It's probably the best thing in Memphis. Still 7 minutes away. Oh no! Aggressive goes around!
Aggressive goes around!
The 0-2 around. Huge day. His day's over.
Aggressive goes around! Aggressive goes around!
I had to get my point across. All right, the 0-2 is around. The 74 is pointed the wrong way. It's sad because Memphis used to be a pretty good town into the 90s. It's just like you can tell. Ooh! 19 got into the wall too. Daniel Hammer, he got into it pretty hard. That's gonna hurt the truck really, really bad. You can tell a town is going downhill when there's litter everywhere. And you can drive right up to the campus of Memphis University of Memphis, whatever it's called. Right there near the zoo, all that area. It's supposed to be a nice upscale area. Just trash all over the sides of the road, abandoned mattresses, all this stuff. Daytona, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Please, if he responded, please screenshot it and send us the screenshot. I will open up the Discord and get the invite. And get you in here. That is hilarious. You can post it in the community. You can post it wherever you want. You can put it in the Discord. That's hilarious. That is so funny. Oh, that kills me. Good to see a Denny Hamlin fan. Denny's not in this race. He can't ruin it for us today. Whew. I was watching some football on this screen. Watching the race on this screen. Watching my food not be delivered to me on this screen. I ordered this food over an hour ago. It would have gotten here faster if I just waited 30 minutes. Maybe this one down the road would have been open and my food would be here by now and warm. The food is going to be cold. It's going to be disgusting. It's going to be terrible. I'm going to eat it and I'm going to love it. All right, Memphis up 10-7. Arkansas getting the ball. Pretty good coverage there by the special teams of Memphis. Able to get the ball down around 23.5. You sent it? Oh dear. Now I have to open up Discord again. Oh, that's funny. Steve, best regards, Steve. Thank you for taking the time to share your thoughts on the current playoff format. We appreciate hearing from passionate fans about your perspective on how the structure impacts the sport. Your feedback about returning to a classic format and emphasizing regular season performance is noted. I'll be sure to share your comments with our team as we continue to evaluate ways to enhance the competition. Thank you again for reaching out and for your support to NASCAR. That is so funny. That is hilarious. That is beautiful. I think that's the best thing I'm going to see today. Hey, John Savan. Good to see you, man. Even if it's a bot response, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Maybe they have some kind of AI responding, but the fact it responded to the subject of Daytona's email is interesting. So if that's a bot, it's a really good one. And another thing to bring up, if it's a bot, that means they've probably gotten that same email hundreds of times. Corey, yeah, John Savan's already calling it. There's only two competitive trucks. It's Ty Majeski or it's Corey Heim. I don't think the race is long enough for a different truck to, suddenly gain speed. Is this guy stupid? My food is going to be colder than a well digger's possession. Hemrick is in trouble. He is in trouble. That right side being pancaked in is going to hurt the truck because these trucks are extremely twisted. So he's going to lose a ton of side force off that right side. All right, tomorrow, 1 Eastern, Rams, Eagles, Packers, Browns, Jets, Buccaneers, Raiders, Commanders, Falcons, Panthers, Cowboys, Bears, Cardinals, 49ers at 4 Eastern. A lot of games. Let's see if the Colts can go 3-4. David Land, if you guys know who David Land is, he's a racing YouTuber. He does primarily IndyCar and IMSA, but he also does NASCAR on occasion. He was at last week's Colts game. And a few NASCAR drivers were there as well. And I saw even more NASCAR drivers tweeting about the Colts game. So it's always cool to see a little crossover there between NASCAR and football. Can I share and promote your Discord server? Yeah, I can share it. If I can. All right, here's Johnson Fans Discord. Just started. This is a pretty new Discord. Johnson Fan also does NASCAR content. Has some really good shorts. I really like some of the shorts he posts. Like good subjects, good editing. And then he also does, obviously the full-length videos. So Another good account to follow. And he's been around with us for a while now. All right. Flag on... It looked like on the offense. Was that holding? They're showing a defender. Is that... No, offside maybe? Oh, yeah. The field flipped. All right, we're restarting, but my food is here. So I'm going to watch this restart. I'm going to dip. Not a super great restart there for the 98. Only lost one position so far. Corey LaJoy making moves, trying to at least. All right, 14 to go in the stage. Uh-oh. Dude, the broadcast missed this wreck. There's another caution. Whoa! Oh my goodness. Okay. So we had a caution here in the truck race. Another caution. Hopefully we get a replay soon. This coverage kind of sucks. 41 truck his day. Maybe not over, but definitely impacted. The Arkansas quarterback just threw that ball like a cannon. Wide receiver caught it over his shoulder, crossing the goal line, and the defender slapped it out of his hands the last second. Just textbook defense. I mean, he didn't give up on the play. That was a touchdown. That was a touchdown until he slapped the ball out of his hands. That's good football. Well, I got Culver's. 16 around, 41 around. So the 62 down along the bottom. That's the 16's fault. That's the 16's fault. The 62 was literally on the apron. 2 wheels below the painted line. He couldn't go any further. All right, well, while we're under caution, this is perfect timing. Take my leave. Arkansas has another set of downs. So first down, 13 minutes left in the second quarter. wireless headset is where it's at, man. I have one for my PlayStation, but now this one connects to my PC and my PlayStation. It was great. I was able to get up. I was able to hear the all these beautiful commercials. Modelo again. My food was here. My fries were cold, as predicted. I threw the burgers in the microwave. It's a burger. The cheese is green screened out. This is the kind of curls I like to do. It's good. Not as good as if it came from the one up the road. Down the street. I feel terrible for that guy. He had to drive like 50 minutes out of his way. All the way across town. John Savini would probably do exactly what you're doing right now. Very little would change. Arkansas already put points on the board. All right, Tom and Jessica on the inside. Not able to stay alongside Corey Heim. He did wrap 1 and 2 pretty well. 38's running more competitive currently. Able to stay alongside Ty Majeski. This is from Culver's. Oh, caution, caution. 69. 69.
Aggressive goes around.
It is nice. It just exploded. It just blew up. It just blew up. Sometimes that happens. Jamie Little just announced the end of stage 1. It's still 4 to go. So they've already decided to run out the stage. Is Jamie Little stupid, or are they just running it to the end of stage 1? Very strange. They must have no confidence they're going to get that truck off the track in time. I agree. I totally agree. The truck coverage being the way it is has single-handedly killed the truck series. A lot of people that I talk to about NASCAR, they're excited every weekend for the Xfinity race, for the Cup race, and even sometimes the ARCA race. They are never excited for the truck race, which is a shame, because it used to be one of the most or more fun series there was. The drivers were less experienced, but they were just getting after it. And then there were some veterans they were racing against, and it was just a good mix. It was a fun time. And the modern day trucks is just barely a rung above ARCA. Exactly. Give it to Amazon. Give it to the CW. Give it to CBS. Who cares? I don't care who has it. Take it away from Fox, please. Please. Give it to ESPN. They have like 20 channels. I'm sure that wouldn't go bad. Burger number 2. We're at a commercial again. Yeah, so that was a very fun time for the truck series. That was a very fun time for really all the series, but back then in the lower series, guys could run a full season, 4 points, and it was awesome. I did not mind bushwhacking. It is my personal belief that Cup drivers driving in the lower series helps train the next generation. It's a good thing. And I think it puts butts in seats. If there's a truck race or an Xfinity race in town and I know a big name's going to be there, a Cup name, I want to go more. I am also watching on the website. Arkansas, first down. Ball's going to be down just outside the 5-yard line. First and goal. Hey, Taco Bell is solid. I'll defend Taco Bell to the day I die. I will die on that hill 1,000,000 times and enjoy it. I'll enjoy dying on that hill. occasionally you'll get a response you don't expect. I had a teacher who made it a point, anytime he had a bad experience with the product, to email the company. And a lot of the times they would send him free stuff as an apology. That's good. That's good, Double A. That's exactly what needs to happen. We need a writing campaign. Rescue the Truck series. You know what? Here's my idea. Bring back the Speed Channel. Bring back the Speed Channel. That's what we need. We need Trackside Live. We need NASCAR Race Day. We need to see full hour-long practice sessions. We need to see single car qualifying. I want to see it all. I want to see it all. I want to see NASCAR Victory Lane. I want to see Wind Tunnel with Dave Despain. I want to see the Turtle Wax Show or whatever it was. Car Crazy. Streetcar Garage. I want to see it all. Speed Channel. Bring back Speed Channel. Put the trucks on Speed Channel. We didn't know how good we had it. We did not know how good we had it. I am so glad I was around for that era of NASCAR, because going to the race was amazing. So many things to do outside the track. Great product on the track. And Trackside Live being there. NASCAR Race Day being there. One day my dad and I were heading in. I think it was Hermie Sadler. Was he was being driven from his car in the parking lot to the stage. I think it was him. Somebody. But those shows were awesome. They still have a Trackside Live, but it's not a TV show. It's this garbage little stage performance that has maybe 30 people standing outside. Used to, it was like a college game day vibe. Constantly. Just fantastic. Trackside Live was hilarious. I remember when Gordon was having his first kid, they had him put on diapers and race other guys who were already fathers, and trying to see what's the fastest Jeff Gordon could change a diaper. Yeah, doesn't Seamus live in Tennessee? Interesting. I was in Nashville last year. I was there for that like 7 overtime race. It was wild. Yeah, a lot of the talent lives in Florida, but I think I remember him saying he lived in Tennessee. Maybe I'm making that up. This commercial's fake news. She did not plant a potato right in a walking path. That is a highly traveled area. Compact dirt. There's no way she planted a potato there and grew a potato. It didn't happen. Fake news. Fake story. That is not prime potato growing positioning. Fox needs to bring back Writing Down the Dream. Disagree. Disagree. That was more wasn't that NBC? They need to play the Fox needs to just play the NASCAR on Fox theme. That was a banger. Or NASCAR Thunder. NASCAR had its own theme song. Like, why do we not hear that more often? We're using all this licensed music. Uh-oh, 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 uh-oh. They are beating and banging 3 wide. Good heavens. Corey Heim having to make his way back up through the field. This is the furthest back he's been today. My leaderboard is more up to date than NASCAR's, or Fox Sports 1's, actually. This is wild. All right, theirs is updated. Theirs has Craftsman. Their lap count's correct, but their running order was a little behind mine. Seems like theirs resets every 3 seconds. Ours resets every 5 seconds. Or when they ever put out new data. No dog, that's a beast. Arkansas's up 21-10. Memphis needs to score here. Uh-oh. That ball was almost picked off. All right, Corey Heim. Back in the pack. A lot of playoff guys. Behind some not playoff guys. Ruggiero. I need to remember that. Gio Ruggiero. That's what Jamie Little said. Did he miss? He missed. I'm not sure. I was eating my burger and talking about Speed Channel. I got distracted. Maybe don't do that. Maybe don't do that. Tell him to bring back Speed Channel. This Fox Sports 1 garbage is terrible. Fox Sports 1 is what replaced Speed Channel. And it's garbage. Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. Yeah. Hey. All right. Hemrick actually the top running playoff driver right now. Tell him to resign. Now we need a vote for NASCAR president. That's what we need. You can message the Fox CEO. I would consider getting the Fox One ESPN bundle if they brought back Speed Channel. That would make it worth it for me. Having NASCAR qualifying and practice on one channel, along with tons of coverage. Yes, we need a democracy. At this point, by the end of the race, Daytona will be messaging Trump. Yeah, he's like, I have Donald Trump's direct email. It'll go right to his iPhone. What should I ask him? All right, Corey Haim, get around. I don't know if he's getting around, but he's fighting with Chandler Smith. His truck does not seem as good back there. I would not doubt that. He wanted to build his own racetrack at one point. It was going to be bigger, allegedly, than Daytona and Talladega, because obviously he wanted the biggest. But it didn't happen. But there is an alternate reality where Donald Trump has a NASCAR track and potentially buys a piece of NASCAR. That was back in the era of Donald Trump trying to get into sports leagues. Now, Trump's done some crazy things in terms of like business. I think they may have had water at one point. They had the university, they had steaks. Now they have Trump Mobile, all this stuff. What's crazier are the things that didn't happen. So like Trump Speedway, like the USFL not being successful. Like wanting to build the World Trade Center 2, Twin Towers 2, whatever he was going to call it. Just rebuild them exactly as they were, but a little bigger. You could ask him how his day's been. It'd be interesting to see if it's equally a suspicious reply, if it's botted or not. He would definitely put his name somewhere if he was involved. But if he was involved in NASCAR, who would be president? Brian France? Would Brian France be the president? That would be wild. Brian France president, Hunter Biden vice president. There would be cocaine everywhere. Everywhere. Allegedly. Allegedly. That'd be a fun White House. Some wild parties. Having fun there, Daytona. All right. Arkansas looks like they're punting. It's 4th and 8. If Memphis could score here, that would be huge. They would still be down going into half, but it would be closer. Just let that ball bounce. Great bounce. Great bounce. Great bounce for Memphis. Terrible bounce for Arkansas. Yeah, the White House. I see what you did there. Gio, I already forgot his last name. Ruggiero. I'm just making it up now. Regan Smith, say his name. Say my name. Oh, Waltrip didn't even attempt it. He just called him Gio. Ruggiero. Ruggiero. Corey Himes only made it back up to 5th. He has passed all the other playoff drivers, though. Still 29 laps to go. That's enough time for Heim to make it back to the lead. Yeah, passing is definitely hard so far. Part of that, I think, is just there's not a lot of competitive trucks out there. Like Corey Heim, he's passed a few people now. But yeah, not a ton of movement throughout the field. It's pretty much Corey Heim and Ty Majeski. And Ty is back in 18th. I don't know what happened to him, but he seemed to be the only competitive truck. Only other competitive truck than Corey Heim. All right, Ty Majeski's complaining about traffic, issues with traffic. Oh, dear. How did Arkansas get the ball back? Turnover? I'll go wait for 1 second and Arkansas has the ball back. So Ty is stuck back in the field. He's having an issue getting through traffic. He had one of the better trucks, and he's struggling back here. Sometimes that happens. Have a good car up front, you go back in the field and just get stuck. Yeah, we've seen that a few times this race. Yeah, even the leader, little sideways there. All right, Corey Heim is closing in. He's cut half a second. $17 to the quarter panel. 17 to the inside. Going for the lead. We'll see who gets a better run here through 3 and 4. 44 up the track. Able to hold it. Looks like he's going to get a good run here. 17 able to stay pretty close. Oh, Gio just got a good exit. That was pretty good. Forty-four just had a little more speed there. 44 back to the lead. Capital One. There's a Capital One commercial. You know what's better than Capital One? Credit One. Credit One Bank. They don't sponsor me, but they should. I mentioned them so many times on stream. 21 laps to go, brought to you by Credit One Bank. Heim's already cut a full second since I just mentioned it. He's gaining very quickly while these guys are battling. That's brought Dawson Sutton back into the conversation. When we come back from commercial, Corey Heim's probably going to be pressing for third position. Oh, we're side by side. Okay, good. Yes. Heim is on the move. The Hemi's back. All right, Heim to the inside of Christian Eckes. He's going to outbrake him here into the corner. Move Heim up to fourth. He did lose a little time there during that battle. Not much. The gap kind of stayed around the same. But Sutton has fallen off. What, about 5/10 since we last looked at him? This is our longest green flag run of the race. Arkansas is obliterating Memphis. Oh, he's out. He's out. He's out. Not a touchdown. Not a touchdown. 15 to go. Corey Heim has lost 2/10 since he made the pass for fourth. He is not gaining. All right, 17 trying the inside again. It is hard to pass somebody when they're running the top side. Whew. Your Chromebook just died? RIP. I mean, you got to keep it plugged in. Plug it in, plug it in. Dude, okay, the 44 and the 17 are side by side. This is going to bring Corey Heim into the conversation if they stay side by side. There is a lap truck ahead. That Sunoco truck looks good. Shame that it's not competitive for reasons. For reasons. Oh no, that was not a long green flag run. R.I.P. Chromebook. Good kick there for Arkansas. Good point after. So it's 28-10. Minute and a half left in the first half. So when they get side by side, Corey Hine can gain. But when they're not, he's really not trimming the lead down too much. So Hime's car has kind of fallen, or his truck has kind of fallen off. So it would be interesting to see if someone has anything for him. Ty Majeski moving through the field. Uh-oh. Aggressive goes around. The 7's around.
Aggressive goes around. Aggressive goes around.
Another caution. Another caution. Patrick Emmerling. Right front down the Psyaps truck. Well, we had a good green flag run. It looks like we're going to have some strategy here. Do you come down and pit now and flip the stage? Or do you stay out and get the points? Because you're not going to save many laps on your tires here. Do you want the stage points or do you want a shot at the win? Track position. Woo! His tires are flat. Left front, right rear. I think the only tire up on that truck is the left rear. I think that's a pretty good point, Double A. I think that's a pretty good point. Especially when they're going to go back green, because they're going to run another lap. Pit road may not be open this next time. So we might restart with maybe 4 to go, but possibly even less, 3. We'll see if pit road opens this time by. Yes, resurrect that Chromebook, Denny Hamlin. I think your driver is going to have a good day tomorrow. So Denny Hamlin fan here, if you guys can't tell, is a Denny Hamlin fan. But he's also a Christopher Bell fan. And just going off of prior success, it seems to me like Hamlin and Bell are 2 solid picks for tomorrow. All right, yeah, everyone's down. Everyone's coming down. It looks like you were right, Double A. I think I only own 1 JGR car. A single one. Bobby Labonte. Interstate batteries. I don't have a Tony Stewart 20 car. I don't think. I have a 14 Tony Stewart. You want Kansas Talladega win car? Be a decent one. I had a buddy that was a big Kansas fan. I think he was there for that one. Eric Estup is a big Matt Kenseth fan. I've been to, I think, 3 or 4 races he's also been at least 3 or 4. And I've always missed him. I've never met him. I've looked around. I've tried to find him. Just haven't timed it. And he's hard to miss. The dude is massive. I'm pretty tall, and he would dwarf me. He's a big dude. They were there when he went to Nashville, but you didn't see any of them? Yeah, usually they have some kind of a meetup outside the track at a booth or whatnot. But usually I'm doing something else at that time. But I did at Bristol one time. I did this a couple times that I've been there when he's there. But anyway, I missed him during the track walk. Looked for him, didn't see him. In Bristol, it seats so many people. Even though I knew about where he was sitting, which was like a couple sections over, I couldn't find him. There were so many people. Exactly, Double A. Exactly. I have never been a heat casualty. In all my time in the Army, all my time in the sports, I've never had a problem with the heat. Nashville last year, before the race, my wife and I did the track walk, and we did the whole pit road thing, all that. We had to leave the infield because, you know, obviously there's no shade. It was so hot, I was about to pass out. So we had to go sit under the stands. And luckily, thankfully, it rained for a while, and it cooled the whole place down. If it hadn't have started raining, I think there would have been several medical emergencies. It was extremely hot. Thank goodness Nashville is now a night race, because it was insane. Way too hot. Next week is Kansas, and you live 4 hours and 10 minutes away from Kansas Speedway. That's drivable. That's drivable. I've driven like 17 hours to Daytona. So it's drivable. Yeah, absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. At a concrete track. Just reflecting the heat back up. I had a black Dale Earnhardt shirt on, and it was so hot that by the time we walked from the car to the merchandise area, I just bought the first light colored shirt I could find. It was a Nashville Speedway shirt. I was like, just give me that. Give me that one. I need out of this black shirt. I'm about to die. I think I was a bit weak because I was just tired, because we've been traveling. We'd already been to New York the last 2 days before this, and we landed in Nashville, and then, you know, half a day later we were at the race. A black, yeah, golly. You can't wear black to a NASCAR event because usually it's going to be hot. If you go to one of the first few races of the year or one of the last few, you might get a cold race. Might. But usually it's going to be super hot and in direct sunlight. It's been extremely hot at Bristol a few times, back during the August date, and even during the September date, it's been pretty hot. But the race being run at night helps a lot. You can sit under the stands or try to find some shade before the race, and then go up top as late as you can. It doesn't help that my dad and I park like a full mile away from the track. But, I mean, we pull right out onto the interstate. It's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. We park at this church that's relatively near the track. Quite a walk, though. I had to jump a fence. My dad had to squeeze through a gap in the fence. There used to be a path through these fields to the track, and nowadays it's fenced off. Bristol's fantastic. Definitely worth it. What you can do, AA, I've talked about this before on stream. You can stay in Gatlinburg because Gatlinburg has so many hotel rooms. They don't jack the rates up around Bristol race weekend. And you can see the Smoky Mountains. So it's like a, kill two birds with one stone. And then after the race, it's like an hour and a half drive from Bristol back to Gatlinburg, wherever you're going to stay. I went to the race in 22, and it was Kurt's last win. And the seat belts were for blood on my waist. What? Yeah, if you try to go to Bristol, you can't stay in Bristol unless you want to spend $450, $500 for one night in a hotel room. They jack the rates up so much, and there's not much around the racetrack. It's just kind of rolling green hills. There's not a ton unless you go onto the Virginia side of Bristol. So the best place to stay relatively nearby, Pigeon Forge, Sevierville, Gatlinburg, that whole area, Smoky Mountains. The next best place, if you want to drive a little further away after the race, Knoxville. You can also stay in Knoxville, see Rocky Top, all that. Pretty area. The northeast hills of Tennessee. I think I heard some lady on Fox Sports 1, one of their shows, mentioning the Bristol race, and she's like, oh, the race in Bristol, Connecticut. I figured you probably had, being relatively close region wise. I feel like usually if you live in a certain area, you've probably been to several of the surrounding states. Your waist was killing you because of your seatbelt. Were you sunburnt? I know sometimes that happens. Usually before my first race of the year, which sometimes is Daytona, other times it's usually Talladega, I'll go tan. multiple times, like leading a month and a half out, and I'll go like every 2 weeks, something like that. I'll tan for like 15 minutes, get out, let that set in, and then go back, tan again. That way I already have some melanin built up. And then when I go out and sit in the sun for several hours at the NASCAR race, I don't burn. If I can lay down a few layers of sun on my skin, I won't burn the rest of the year. So that's the strategy. That's the strategy. If you're a person that burns, I can't help you. I can't help you. It also helps that my skin is just incredibly sun damaged. All right, under commercial again. 60 laps to go, looks like. It'll be interesting to see if we can get a good, clean run in here. Or if we're going to have a bunch of cautions. Kornheim wasn't looking so hot there. Maybe because he had to run through the field and pass quite a few people, but he didn't look super crazy there. Whoa, is that a block in the back? He's still on his feet. He's rumbling. He's bumbling down to the 11-yard line. They're showing highlights of the Texas Tech Utah game right now. Texas Tech up 10-3 over Utah. What I think I'll do first on NASCAR 25. I don't know. I've had that question asked several times. I'll probably just race a bunch of tracks and like a few different series. I might even just go to one track and race each series there. I don't know. We'll do some stuff. We'll do some stuff and things. I'll probably try to race at every track. At least every track in some of the series. And then eventually I'll do my career. I may start my career the next day after release. And then on Friday the 17th, 6 days after the game releases, I'm going to be playing multiplayer. Yeah, I want to get a feel for the physics. I want to get a feel for what, if any, assist I want to run, what my steering settings are going to be, and try to figure out a few things with the setup, because going into a new NASCAR game, which we don't have a prior title for, there's not like a NASCAR 24. This is kind of NASCAR Heat 6, but not really. But anyway, we don't have setups for this game, so gonna have to see how necessary custom setups are. I'm gonna just feel the game out. Yeah, I'll be doing quick races. I'm kind of excited to jump in the ARCA car, to be back in the Gen 6 Chevy SS. I think that'll be pretty cool. I kind of want to do Homestead with the Xfinity cars. And I want to do New Atlanta in the Cup cars. Yeah, I definitely need to drive backwards. That's a must in every NASCAR game. You're thinking maybe start with a truck race at Nashville? I saw a truck race in Nashville, I think maybe in 2007. Maybe it was '06. There was, I think, an ARCA race before, and then a truck race to finish it out. And I was looking at this truck, and I thought I could see the wheel looking a little bit wobbly. And I told my dad, I said, watch that truck. They're about to wreck. And one lap later, going into two, that truck wrecked. Well, I thought I saw the same thing on their teammate several laps later. So look at that truck. It looks like they're about to wreck. And then they wrecked too, so it was insane. I am worried about the bumps on NASCAR 25. The bumps are scary. Because you're going to think you have tons of grip. Your car's going to plant in the corner, and you're going to be going along just fine. And you're going to hit one of those bumps, lose a ton of downforce, and just shoot up the track. And it's going to be terrifying. So trying to avoid the bumps will be key. And like, imagine if you can set your car up to run over the bumps, like run a softer suspension or something. And if you run a more solid suspension package, a stiffer one, you can get through the corners better if you avoid the bumps. But if you hit the bumps, it's worse. A lot of interesting possibilities. I'm excited. I hope I'm good at it. I hope I'm good at it. I don't have to be esports good. But as long as I can race the AI on at least 100%, with no assist, or at least very minimal assist, I'll be happy. Because that's what I prefer to do in racing games, is no assist. The only assist I run in Gran Turismo is light ABS. Because even some racing, more like sports cars, have ABS. So I'm really limiting myself when I don't run ABS. I'll run like a low ABS. No traction control. Yeah, no assist. Maybe, yeah, the stability. That's AA. That's perfect. That's perfect. I think you nailed it pretty well there. What I usually do is, when I'm testing out a new track to do a 100% race, I'll set it around 102 usually. And if I'm keeping up with the AI at 102 during the run, like the very beginning of the run, I know I need to turn it up a little more. So I'll go up a couple more notches, usually just to 105 after that. Because the AI are not good at managing old tires. We saw... Oh, no, aggressive goes around.
Aggressive goes around.
The 32, no, 32, the 33 in the wall. Tyler Tomasi. Well, we have a caution. We didn't make it long. Currently 48 to go. That truck is a mess. Maybe drop debris, so we're going to be under caution for at least a handful of laps. They're not going to have to tow it, so that's good. But they do need to go inspect that area, make sure there's no debris on the track. I'm really interested to see. They said they're going to reveal it this next week. The controller settings. I really want to see what all they have to configure as far as dampening and like steering rate, steering sensitivity, blah, blah, blah. Because as we saw today in my NASCAR Heat gameplay, our sensitivity was very high and our rate was probably a little too high as well. Because whenever the car would start to slide, and I wanted to correct it back to the right, just a little flick to the right, and the car would be in the outside wall. Just pancake it. On a lower sensitivity, I can usually catch those. So dialing that in will be very important. And also, if they have custom settings for the brake and acceleration, and I'm hoping, I highly doubt this, I'm hoping on PlayStation they'll have the haptic triggers. Because the haptic triggers, I don't know if you've used them, AA, but the haptic triggers on Gran Turismo 7 feel amazing. It feels like an actual, resistance. So, like, you have the sensation of an actual gas pedal, actual brake pedal. It's nice. Feels really nice. Auburn at Oklahoma next on ABC. I usually turn the haptics off on shooting games and really any other game. But on Gran Turismo 7, it's beautiful. It is fantastic because you can feel when you're spinning your tires. That's a big thing in Gran Turismo 7 when you have a high-powered car. You can feel that because all of a sudden, all of the pressure, all the resistance in the trigger goes out. If you start sliding your tires, it's the same thing. You get tons of resistance once your tires start to slide, locking them up. The resistance goes out, and it's fantastic. Great system. Syracuse takes 24-7 lead over Clemson. Clemson sucks. Clemson sucks. It sucks to be a Clemson Tiger. It sucks to be a Clemson Tiger. It sucks to be a Clemson Tiger. It's karma. There's some professors talking pretty wild on social media. Jamie Little just said less than 100 days to Christmas. Jamie Little already looking forward to Christmas. Good for her, I guess. Is that true? Grok, is that true? Is it 100 days to Christmas? Let's ask Google. Days to Christmas. Oh, wow. 96 days. Happy holidays. Happy holidays. While the merry bells are ringing, happy holidays to you. Happy holidays. You're asking her for a wheel and pedal setup from your wife. Very nice. My wife will usually ask me, what do you want? And I tell her, nothing. Nothing. I have enough things. I'm trying to get rid of things. If anything, get me a gift card to Taco Bell or a pack of socks. Some underwear. Something I'll use. A new pair of jeans, you know? I don't need other things, you know? I would be okay with nothing. It's September, we still have Halloween and Thanksgiving. That's right. But Jamie Little already brought up Christmas, so I'm bringing up Christmas. 96 days. We're almost there. If you're dyslexic, that's a very nice amount of days left. All right, Corey Heim back to lead. Gio Ruggiero holding on to second place. And we have more. Okay, Tony Breitenger's around. Matt Craftsman involved. Ben Rhodes involved. We have at least 3 trucks. 44 is also around. 4 trucks. Man, that 5 truck is a good looking truck, but her day's over. Matt Crafton's day may also be over. We just restarted. Can this race end, please? I need to at least get like an hour of sleep. I have places to be. Ben Rhodes has a ton of damage on the right side. Oh, and the right front looks broken. I don't know if they know how badly that truck's damaged. Can we get a replay? Can we get a... Can I get a witness? It is 5 hours to WrestlePalooza. 96 days to Christmas. 5 hours to WrestlePalooza. Hopefully that informs your decisions. Plan wisely. Replay it. I missed it. I looked away. I looked away. I looked away. I looked away and they showed the they showed the replay. That's dirty. Come on, one more time. One more time for the one time. All right. I just see the 5 truck coming up the track. Very big impact. Trip said they have a ton of surprises planned. It's probably just Lesnar joining the Vision. I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it. That would be the predictable thing. I wouldn't be surprised to see The Rock. Think about it. Think about it. It's the first ESPN premium live event. If The Rock's going to show up outside of WrestleMania, this is the moment. He was there for the Netflix premiere. So, you know, ESPN, you think The Rock's going to miss out on ESPN coverage? Probably the moment of the night if his music hit. I wish people would boo him because he ruined the storylines this year. But it's The Rock. When The Rock shows up, you have to go nuts. If he doesn't show up, I'll be kind of disappointed. I was almost like, dude, I missed out on The Rock 3 times. I almost went to one in Memphis, almost went to one in Birmingham, and almost went to one in Atlanta. And all 3 The Rock showed up to. I never would have guessed he was going to show up to Birmingham or Memphis, and he did. I missed out on The Rock. I would pop like crazy if his music hit. Yeah, my buddy and I almost drove out to that. Same for the Birmingham one. I've seen SmackDown in the Madison Square Garden. As a SmackDown before SummerSlam last year. The one that Paul Heyman went through the announcing table, I was there for that. I met LA Knight that day, Bailey, and Kevin Owens. That was a pretty cool day. And then I went to one in Nashville. And then this year I went to one in Knoxville. And I've been to a house show here in town. Never been to a PLE. And I don't know if I ever will because the tickets are so expensive. If WrestleMania had been in New Orleans, I probably would have tried to go to at least one night. Yeah, I might try to go to one of the PLEs in Indianapolis. This one's in Indy, I think. I like Indianapolis. I like Indiana. Get up there and see my Colts. But crime has been on the rise in downtown Indy, especially around the Circle Center Mall where I spend a lot of my time. Been to 2? Unforgiven and Fastlane? Man, this thing is huge. I'm gonna take these out and put them in here. Wait, what's the diameter? It's like 3 millimeters less. Anyway. I'm comparing 2 products of different brands. Yeah, I missed the boat for the PLEs and pay-per-views back when they were actually affordable to go to. If I just went by myself, it would be easier to afford, but I wouldn't go by myself. That wouldn't be fun. I've been to several big events by myself, and it's never fun. Like, it's fun in the moment, but the whole time you're there, you're seeing friends out, you're seeing families out together, and you're just there, all alone. And usually, you know, LSU football games when I've been alone, I've been to several of LSU football games by myself. I always make friends with people around me. Very friendly people. But just being around that many people, but being by yourself is a very weird feeling. I'm sure it'd be super hyped. You're one of the few people that said they saw Sting in a WWE ring. That's pretty cool. I saw him in an AEW ring. I saw him coming down from the rafters. It was crazy. It was crazy. I literally, right before it happened, I jokingly said to my buddy, it'd be crazy if Sting came from the rafters. And they did a double taping that day. I guess that's what AEW does. After the first one, like, since we didn't really know anybody when we were there pretty much just to see Sting, we stayed for like the first match or the second show and then left. If AEW was free with a like a streaming service like Peacock used to be with WWE, I would watch more AEW. But you have to pay like $50 extra on top of HBO Max to see the AEW pay-per-views. I don't know how much it is. I think it's around like 30, 50, something like that. That's ridiculous. Ridiculous, I tell you. But I think they also show some of their events in theaters. Not that probably anyone goes. One thing I would love to do, if they ever open one in my area, if you've seen the Cosm, I would like to see a WWE event in the Cosm. You get Max for free. I used to be subscribed to Max. I'm not right now, but I still get their programming. I'm able to watch Peacemaker through a Canadian TV channel. Because the episodes go live internationally at the same time they go live on HBO Max. 8 p.m. Central. And so I flip over to my Canadian channel. Bada bing, bada boom, I'm watching Peacemaker. I found that through a tweet from James Gunn. Somebody from the UK was asking when episodes go live in the UK, because sometimes they have to wait like a month for movies and TV shows to come out. And he was like, simultaneously. So I tried to find the UK channel. Well, I don't have it. But I did have that Canadian channel. They don't do it anymore, but Max had to deal with AT&T. Yeah, I used to have that. Back when I was with AT&T. But back when I had it, back when I first got it, it was called HBO Go. It's before Max even existed. Now I guess you probably have to have HBO Max to watch Band of Brothers, because Band of Brothers left Netflix September 14th. It left Netflix September 14th at 2 a.m. or September 15th, 2 a.m. Central. And I finished the last episode at 2:45 Central. I started it right before they took it off air. I did one last watch through on Netflix. I still have access to it, but it's just so easy to watch it on Netflix. I love Band of Brothers. I've probably seen it like 4 times this year. I don't think there's a military show or movie that accurately depicts the camaraderie of the military than Band of Brothers. All right, back green flag racing, 31 laps to go. You're gonna see the Call of Duty movie, yeah. I hope it's good. If I had to guess, I don't know. Treyarch's been the more popular studio lately, but Modern Warfare is the better known story. So I wouldn't doubt we see Modern Warfare. And I hope they don't do the reboot Modern Warfare. I hope they do the original. Imagine they do like a trilogy, like MW1, 2, and 3. The original. Oh, the 71 up the track. Almost spun another truck. Yeah. Even though, like, the Black Ops story would be insane. Imagine if they mixed World at War and Black Ops 1 in a movie. Like, they started with Reznov and that whole story. Then did the whole Dimitri getting gassed. And then it jumps to Vorkuta. Mason breaking out. All that. I don't know if we'll ever see a World War II Call of Duty movie. I don't know if we'll ever see that. I don't think World at War would get its own movie. That's why I think maybe they would combine parts of World at War with Black Ops. And the Black Ops story just isn't as cohesive. World at War to Black Ops 1 was a pretty cohesive story, pretty connected. Black Ops 2 was way distant in the future, so not really as connected. And then, you know, Black Ops 3, 4, 5, 6, like not really the most cohesive story. So the best thing for them to do would be World at War and Black Ops 1, or just do the Modern Warfare trilogy. The original Modern Warfare trilogy. Imagine MW3, like the Eiffel Tower getting blown up, all that stuff. The Russians invading New York City. Oh my goodness. Imagine MW2, the invasion of Washington, D.C. That would be cinema. Absolute cinema. No Russian? Are they going to do no Russian in the movies? Just mowing people down. The Black Ops 1 story is one of my favorite campaign stories. It's the flashbacks and, you know, Mason thinking Reznov's there. But if you know he's talking to himself, it changes the story completely for you during your playthrough. You're like, oh my goodness, this is why so-and-so reacted the way they did. Because Reznov wasn't there. And Mason's just talking to himself. He's a crazy guy. My name is Victor Reznov, and I will have my revenge. And that'd be a fun one, because that one is probably the most well written Call of Duty campaign. It's just you have to condense like 6 to 7 hour campaigns into a movie. I guess that's similar to them condensing Harry Potter, which is like usually a year. Each book takes place over the course of a year. So it's kind of like that, squeezing a year into 2 hours, squeezing a 7 hour campaign into 2 hours. I've said it on stream before, talking about a Call of Duty movie before this one was announced. I was shocked there hadn't been one already, especially during the hype of Call of Duty around 2011, 12. That would have been the perfect time for a Call of Duty movie to come out. The perfect time. It would have made buckets of money. Buckets. They'd have to go out and buy more buckets to hold the buckets of money. Buckets to hold the buckets. 21 laps to go. Corey Heim, a second and 3/10 ahead. 1.3 seconds ahead. That's the better way to say it. Lane Riggs in third. So we have 4 locked in drivers now. Ty Majeski in 8th, locked in. Daniel Hemrick, 13th, locked in. All right, 20 laps to go. Double A said, imagine it's Modern Warfare and everyone has to watch Soap die again. That was pretty traumatic. That was pretty traumatic. And then you're Yuri in the next, or I guess after Soap gets shot, you're Yuri. And you and Price are walking up the steps or something, or around the steps, and then Price turns around and decks you. Dude, the craziness. And then Yuri has to explain, like, yes, I was working with Reznov, but I was trying to take him down, blah, blah, blah. Wild stuff. The original Modern Warfare story was so much better than the reboot. The reboot's pretty trash. And Soap died like an idiot. What an idiot. No one even tried to save him. Now, not only will we have to watch Soap die again, we'll also have to watch Ghost get shot. Exactly. Yeah. I remember, what was that, 2009? Watching videos on YouTube of, is Ghost still alive? Could Ghost survive? And people were like, oh yeah, the fire would have killed him. And then people were like, no, they mentioned at the start of the mission he had a fireproof vest on, blah, blah, blah. Ghost lived. And Modern Warfare 3 came out and Ghost did not live. Stupid Shepherd. I remember playing the demo mission to Modern Warfare 2 over and over before I got that game. The mission where you're in the frozen forest or whatever, and you're climbing up the ice wall, and then at the end of it, you're on the snowmobile, all that. Yeah, it was from Gaz's perspective, I believe, because I think when they toss his body, he looks over and you see Ghost on the ground. R.I.P. Ghost. Oh, when they're birding? I'm not sure when they're birding. I'd have to go back and watch it. All right, 14 laps to go. Really not... This has been our least successful watch-along so far. Maybe I just didn't have a good thumbnail, or perhaps college football just crushed the truck series. Our ARCA coverage got way more views last week. This is coming off of our most successful stream ever last week. Our Cup broadcast got 35,000 viewers. Right now we're sitting at about 230. Kind of wild. But this is, you know, truck races usually are on Fridays. I would love to go live for the ARCA race, but I won't be home. I could possibly remote into my computer and just make it go live by itself. I wouldn't be here, but the leaderboard would be up. So if someone wants to watch the leaderboard, they could. I wouldn't be here to commentate and talk about things. I've completely forgotten to check the highlights. I usually check highlights throughout the race. I didn't do that today. Too busy focused on different things. The chat, the football game. So not my best broadcast. Corey, I'm still a little under second and a half advantage. 1.3. The gap has stayed pretty constant. Oh my goodness. Well, the 38 just lost about 4/10 in one corner. He's already gained 2/10 back since then. 10 laps to go. Chandler Smith can see him. But making up a second and a half, that's a tall order. The strongest truck of the day. Corey Heim. Ty Majeski works pretty hard to rebound. Good running position for Grant Infinger. He was pretty awful throughout most of the race. So this is a really good finish for Grant Infinger. Maybe he can do just enough to make it to the next round. They're showing EO Sky on ABC. That's crazy seeing WWE on ESPN. That is so wild. And they're covering it like a real sport. Man, Memphis has outplayed Arkansas, but Arkansas has made the most of their possessions. Memphis has the better stat line. You love EO? Interesting. The whole Becky Lynch and AJ Lee thing, that's going to be pretty wild. Julia's your favorite? Yeah, she's ripped. I think Chelsea Green's pretty good. Like, she's decent in the ring, but outside of the ring, her persona is extremely popular. She knows how to work a crowd. She knows how to get a reaction. And from what I've heard, a lot of the things that she's been up to lately have been her idea. So she seems like a pretty smart lady. And I used to really dislike Nia Jax. I like her more now. I think she's been doing better. They haven't given her much to do lately, but she's been better in ring. Yeah, Chandler Smith is closing in. He's cut the gap. Oh, well, he was cutting the gap down to 7/10. Now it's back up to 9/10. He'd cut the gap in half for a second. So right here, Corey Heim needs to get around this lap traffic, get a little buffer. And Chandler Smith needs to close in here. He needs to gain as much ground as he can before Heim laps this car. He's going for the pass right now. Come on. It's too little too late. Chandler's driving the wheels off this thing, and it's not enough. He lost a 10th on that last lap. Yeah. Unless he pulls a me and just sends it in there full speed, cuts the corner and takes him out, you know. Nine tenths gap. All right. White flag brought to you by Credit One Bank.
White flag. 1 lap to go. Sponsored by Credit One Bank.
Corey Heim, if he doesn't win this championship, NASCAR might explode. At least the fan base. Even though it's trucks, and not many people care about trucks anyway. Memphis is only down by 8 points currently. All right, there's Corey Heim's 9th win of the season. Plenty of time to get number 10. And Corey Heim last week at Bristol looked really good. Corey Heim is a future star. Corey Heim is going to be a star. I don't know. We have to see how he adapts to going into Xfinity and eventually to the next gen car. The next gen car sometimes doesn't suit certain drivers, but he finished 8th at Bristol. I think he finished 8th. He might get the leg. He could. Honestly, Herbst needs to leave 2311, and Heim needs that seat. Even without time in Xfinity, I think Corey Heim could run better than Riley Herbst has. Jared said, what's good? Well, the race just ended. Corey Heim got his 9th win of the season. Chandler Smith 2nd, Lane Riggs 3rd. Gio Ruggiero 4th, 5th, Ty Majeski 6th, Grant Infinger 7th, Caden Honeycutt 8th, Corey LaJoy 9th, Christian Eckes 10th, Rajah Caruth 11th, Tyler Angram 12th, Daniel Hemrick. Corey, I'm taking a reverse victory lap, a Polish victory lap there. Not our most successful broadcast stream, but it was good to talk with you, Double A. Good to see you at the very end there, Jared. Denny Hamlin fan was in here. Daytona as well. Johnson fan, good to hear from him. And good little race there. All right, ladies and gents. Yeah, we might be live tomorrow for the Cup race. What time is the Cup race tomorrow? Tomorrow at 1. I'll probably be live for it, and then we'll probably do our post-race show. If we're not live for the full race, we will be live for the post-race. So look for us tomorrow. We also may be live this afternoon, or not afternoon, this late this evening, late tonight. We might be live. But other than that, guys, it's been a good day of streaming so far. You know, we had our NASCAR Heat 5 stream. We had a decent little truck race. We didn't do any highlights. This is the first time we didn't show highlights. I just completely forgot. And yes, I am going to the concert. The concert is at 5, so it should be over by 7:30. So I should be back here around 8. I'm not sure if I'll be streaming when I get back, but I might stream for a little bit tonight. We'll see. Not sure what I would stream, but we'll figure that out. If not, you guys will probably hear from me tomorrow for the NASCAR Cup race and then our post-race show. And hopefully we get some more call-ins. Last week we had 35,000 people tune in for our Cup race coverage. So maybe we can have even a tenth of that, you know? That'd be great. But I think that'll do it for us, ladies and gents. Really just gents. I think like 86% of the people that watch this channel are men. Like 84%. And then I think 86% of people watching their televisions. So thank you to our lurkers who are sitting around 250 views, non-concurrent viewers. The race has now concluded. Congratulations to Corey Heim as we continue our truck postseason. Several drivers locked themselves in, so we'll see how the rest of this plays out. We do have an ARCA race at 6 p.m., so if you're interested in ARCA, tune into Fox Sports 2, and you can see an ARCA race. Other than that, we have football the rest of today. So enjoy the sports. If you're into sports and sports entertainment, we also have WrestlePalooza. I think starting at 7 Eastern, maybe it's 7 Central. Starting at 7 on ESPN. So, yeah, I hope you guys have a good one. Hope you guys enjoy your Saturday. And if I don't see you this evening, hopefully I'll see you guys